Alright, folks. It took a bit of time. There were some stall tactics. This is what I imagine government is like. A lot of people getting nothing done. But we are finally in the fresh best of 3. Spawning in the bottom left corner of the map. He's my favorite Phoenix user. It's, of course, the red Protoss MyungSik.
In the top right as the blue Terran, it's TY.
TY. He is really good at StarCraft 2 Zombie Grub.
Yes. And
Full stop. Actually,
Okay.
there are some times where I do feel TY might be like one of the best Terrans, but unlike Marine King, it's not nearly as inconsistent, I guess. Like Marine King, you're like, okay, 1% of the time, this guy is seriously the best Terran player that's ever touched the game. TY, on the other hand, he plays really well on a very regular basis. So I'm not going to go as far as to say he's the best. That's absurd. It's so impossible to prove who is the best at a race, but he is damn good and one of the best for sure.
yeah.
I remember when I first got into casting too, I always mixed him up with XY. Like, oh yeah, this Chinese
That's
player over
understandable.
here.
Well, when he first started out, he was a baby. He was a baby when he started playing StarCraft 2, and since then, I guess he wanted a new name because he was no longer the baby of the team. He grew up to be a nice young man and whatnot. But
A polite young man too. It makes his name TY. Thank you very much. It's a very Canadian name. You get Sorry, the other Terran. Wow. And I play for Terran. You know what? I thought it was always because I had a choice, but maybe it's just because I'm Canadian.
yeah, that's it. That's probably it. You're right.
Oh, being Canadian means nothing. Use of bad internet and a lot of waffles with pancakes and syrup and I don't know, stereotypes, beavers, Chesterfields, you name it. But we do have the command center giving down pretty quick out of TY. Some of the times you do have this really big concern, even if you do go for a Reaper opener, there might be that Zell that walks across the map. You might have that poke that can be so dangerous. So I like that he's left the Reaper at home instead of darting across the map with it because, truth be told, it's pre-5.5 minutes. You're not seeing much with this Reaper anyways.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, you completely give up options of killing any probes, but you rarely get one nowadays. Anyways. A quick Twilight Council goes down to the left of MyungSik's base. This is going to be hard to scout.
Of course, the Twilight Council, once upon a time, the fabled Blink build. It's going to mean a lot of very dangerous things, but StarCraft 2's come a long way, and truth be told, Blink's just become a more normal part of the matchup, so I really like the fact that this isn't too crazy yet. It's if a Dark Triangle or something gets paired with it that is a little bit crazy, but Reaper going to see it. Cool. So now he knows the tech path of his opponent.
Yeah. I was a little worried we just dive for the back and die in the process, but good deal.
Actually, I gotta say, I think MyungSik's SimCity leads to that, because he could not dive through. He had to go all the way around, but ooh, it's gonna be a Dark Shrine!
You know, with how the Twilight Council was placed, I would be suspicious as a Terran player, but I don't know if he's getting the same feelings. Now, it does look like he's setting up for some type of drop. Hellions, or maybe building Widow Mines after this, but we just saw it happen, like, not, like, 2 hours ago or something like that.
Yeah, the timing for this always tends to be a bit wonky, but I think if this is going to be a Widow Mine drop, it should be able to see the Dark Shrine without too much issue.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll just beeline across the map and see that in time.
Well, the Hellions might actually be able to do that too if they run right through the natural. There's not a force field. Stalkers take too much time to kill, so some Mothership Force, so they may be able to get up there and scout. And I mean, 2 Hellions dying is better than burning a skin every single time. Especially if you get some kills for it. But oh, wasting time in the natural, that's not going to be so worth it. 3 probes, not good. For TY though, he is bulking up Marines, and a drop, not going to be that sweet spot of a hit, but still might get over there in time to see this and perhaps throw some defensive turrets down. There is that really pesky pylon placement here on Overgrowth, not where he's currently placing it, but next to the natural, so you can actually warp in behind bunkers, behind turrets on the front lines.
Yeah. That is quite annoying. Sees the proxy pylon. That's a nice catch, and I think he also saw that it was warping in nothing, basically, so it's suspicious.
Well, whether he's suspicious or not, sadly his depots are down, so this could be a problem. Ah, the swipe almost goes off.
I guess he didn't see it. But he did hear the swipe. Yeah,
Well,
did try and...
That's the point, zombie grub.
Anyways, so there aren't too many scans, but there's about to be one. Actually, there's two, perfectly two basically, and that'll clean up the two DTs, no problem. Also cleaning up the proxy pylon and attacking at his natural with the Hellions.
That's kind of a cool move had there been nothing at home. But we got some people in chat asking if we're going to be covering the EU qualifiers. Probably not at this rate, guys. But luckily for you, I believe Apollo and Killars will be casting those. So, ooh, doesn't quite get the DT. That sucks.
Professional casters.
Yeah, you guys can do away with our unprofessional casting styles, which some people seem to love, some people seem to hate, whatever your flavor may be. But I definitely, Apollo's probably one of my favorite casters to listen to personally. So that should be a good cast. That should be good times on the EU qualifiers.
Is it a scale? Okay. Alright, that wasn't that much of a problem, but DTs being DTs, they usually are guaranteed some damage. Like, eventually get in here, especially on Overgrowth with that little pylon you mentioned, but only 9 workers killed compared to the 10 of TY. They pretty much went even here. We have a Blink All-In follow-up? What month is it?
I don't think the Blink All-In is necessarily for this big follow. Oh, that's irritating. Worked out nicely though. Anyway, so I don't necessarily know if Blink All-In is going to be this one big kill move. He's got the potential to go for Colossus. He's got the potential to just get Blink Stalkers for the sake of having them complemented. It's not like he doesn't have a Robo. In fact, all he's got to do is research Thermal Lance to get a Colossus going. He's good to go.
I completely did not notice that there was a robotics pay on the field. So, what? Z. Okay, it's not going to be a Blink Stalker, and it's not maybe not going to be an all-in as he gets a Forge as well. That is a lot of gateways to get third base on, but I guess it's going to be fairly dedicated Blink pressure into a Colossus follow-up into third.
Yeah.
Is that what's going to go on here?
I don't know. He did that thing where he overproduced probes. I really thought this was going to be a third, but this might have just been one of those things where the DT saw enough to make him think, hey, I can actually maybe end this game.
I guess so. He does see a lot of gateways, but also that it's chrono boosting the Colossus, so I'm not sure he realizes that his army is, well, needs to defend.
I've never actually looked at a Dark Shrine before. Did not realize these were like 3 Protoss faces rotating around.
Oh, I never noticed that either!
So cool!
There's like spires or something. Well, it's creepy now. Oh, that's weird.
It's like Mount Rushmore in Building 4.
Yeah, but it's revolving and it looks extra evil.
I always just thought it was some weird design, but...
Me too. I had no idea it was faces. I also didn't know that it was floating.
Yo, there's like what is that? There's almost like a piece of a pylon in there too. Over analysis hype! Blink Stalkers to the north side looking to get in there and cause some damage. That Blink can of course traverse the ledge, and if there was a bunker up, they'd walk right past it. The bunker is up, but there's nothing in it because the entire army from TY has moved out of the base. So running back home, I'm not sure what he'll be able to do. The Stalkers can still escape.
A sandwich. That's what you can do. Oh, okay.
Invisible sandwich. Oh, God.
Yeah. Alright, that was a really nice recall, and it is a heavy blink pressure into Colossus follow-up into third, so Totes called it. Fairly quick High Templar transition afterwards. This is dangerous as, you know, it is just Blink Stalkers, right? There's no charge lots that really are the buffer, the surprising amount of damage. Like, there's a lot of Marauders in there. Not a lot of Vikings. And I guess that means I won't be able to push into 3 Colossus.
Oh, I really like the Templar. I mean, whether it's for Archons or maybe it's a feedback to Storms down the line. MyungSik is not exactly massively ahead of TY, but this third base puts him in a pretty nice spot. Can he hold on to it, though? The entire army was busy chasing out north to this quote-unquote main force, but surprise, surprise, the Nexus Knight might just be in order.
That's big. That's big. Because, I mean, TY was lacking Vikings, and that was absolutely huge. He literally had 0. He needed to do something, either buy a lot of time, or, of course, better, kill a Nexus while buying time.
Yeah. I mean, killing the Nexus 400 minerals is nice, but disrupting your opponent's economy is better.
Still not double starport production, and still no third CC for TY.
We MyungSik's got Charge, he's got Storm. I mean, truth be told, he's kind of playing this out expected standard. I don't know how you want to phrase that. I really expect him to do something with Stargate. He's been the guy who's been using Phoenix Colossus almost 9 times out of 10 every time we've seen him in the Aluma League. But this standard play is working out pretty well for him here on Overgrowth.
Yeah. Well, 1-1's about to finish up for TY. The Viking count still not that great. 2 at a time is not that fast. So going up to 6 right now against 3 Colossus. I mean, if they got really great position and the Stalkers were literally out, like completely out of position, that'd be great, but that's not enough to do much. A Doom drop, though, could be good. The SimCity doesn't help MyungSik. It's kind of funny. It's kind of gross.
Actually, oh my god. Snipe these 2 pylons. You depower the entirety of the production.
Yeah, I mean, it's like one gateway away from just blocking out a Colossus from helping out. He does try and find that really great position over the kitchen, and yeah, this is the best position you can usually find, and that wasn't enough for only 6 Vikings.
Well, this drop of the main is fantastic. It's going to get the Nexus. It also might get the Templar Archives, which is pretty big. But also, if he can kill those pylons powering those gateways, that's going to be absolutely disgusting. But not going to focus down the Templar Archives. There we go. Does focus it down, but now he's got to be careful on the retreat path. There could be feedbacks. There's a lot of storms coming down. He's going to try and kite through this abandoning ship. Meanwhile, in the middle of the map, he is being chased back. So this kind of, it works out well for TY for damage, but is it worth losing such a large portion of his army? And he did lose a very large portion of his army.
We're about to find out. MyungSik decides to either he's looking for the army, which is great, or he's going to decide to attack. He barely doesn't catch up before it loads back up, and there's just dead space here, so no problem. Oh, the probe's going to the action?
Why not? What else are they going to do?
You
Mine
go.
the Nexus is dead?
Yeah, you go. Yeah. Well, he's back on a 2 bases. You know, it's 1 Nexus at a time at least, and he did have quite a big bank to just plant that down pretty quickly. We have Ghost out now. The Viking count still not great, only at 5.
Yeah, he's been throwing them away 4 at a time for the most of this game, above Kitchen and that bad engagement, scrapping here at home. I mean, this is not looking so good for TY, and behind all of this, he's only just gotten that 3rd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was fairly late. And MyungSik again, I mean, sure, he's lost 2 bases, but always when I look at his minerals, they're surprisingly high. It's like he's not feeling so bad after everything. No, he doesn't have any High Templars left over. They're all changed into Archons, I believe, so he is missing a crucial part of the splash.
That EMP pretty much hit the entire army. That was a beautiful EMP to go down. Sadly, the Dark Templar are still going strong, and he's not going to kill the Colossus with the Vikings before dying. He's got to stim a couple of Marauders to be those special forces that we see as we try to dive through and pick off that last Colossus. But while this goes on, his 3rd base under attack by DT, and this is not going well for TY. On the verge of defeat, MyungSik in a great spot. Still not exactly dominating his opponent, but these 2 Colossus living is such a big deal.
It absolutely is. And the 3rd one joins into the fight as well. TY is spreading so good. Oh my gosh, he's on 2 of them. I didn't even think that was going to happen. But even then.
Either. He lost the 3rd, or well, he lost the SVs at 38 to lift the 3rd. I mean, MyungSik can just keep pressuring it. It's kind of that point where maybe he just goes incredibly large amounts of Zealots, a couple of Templar.
Right.
Colossus are no longer as important. They're still good to have, but they're not the necessity that they were in the early game.
I never remade the Templar Archives. And he's down to 1 single High Templar. So he's not going to be able to go charge lot High Templar, but certainly with DTs he can make Archons. There he goes, plants it back down.
For the color.
I'm the last person alive. Great.
For now.
Yeah, for now.
Well, they're not even people, the Protoss, so.
Okay.
I know the irony might be lost on you a little bit there, but I just let it. Alright, this warp in, it's actually really nice. Again, denying this 3rd is everything, because TY is mined out of his main, his natural's getting a little bit low. Tentative to engage and not over-dedicating is pretty smart, but if he gets shut down mining on this base, he's going to be in such a good spot. However, it looks like he will give up position. I don't know if this is necessary.
With only 1 Colossus and the way that TY has been controlling the concaves, I would be a little scared too.
I guess, yeah, a lot of this was waiting on the Templar Archives, getting some new Templar out. Command center coming over to the gold base is the one from his main, so this is not an additional command center. He's not sitting on 7 orbitals. For TY's sake, this could be a little bit risky and a little bit hard to obtain.
And this has been a very upgrade light game.
Yeah, I actually was just looking at that myself. Normally we expect the Protoss player to be on like at least level 3 by now.
Yeah, but I mean, TY just placing down that armory for 2-2. And upgrades for his Vikings as well, which have not played that huge of a role. I mean, I brought them up a lot, but they've never been very plentiful. So it's been about the army control, which has been sick. But MyungSik.
MyungSik is army control.
I get it. Oh, one storm. Oh, storm too.
You know, here's the thing though, without those armor upgrades, the zealots as we see are actually taking damage. They're not exactly the unstoppable forces they normally are, so if he had level 3 armor upgrades, I think he plows through this bio significantly more comfortably, but that's 3 Colossus and not a lot of Vikings. He might just be able to take this fight. Where the storms, EMPs go down, miss the Guardian Shield, no Guardian Shield. Sentry's still alive with a lot of energy, not force fielding, not Guardian Shielding, it's just going to get picked off. Colossus goes down, Stalkers versus Marauders, and if there was more Zealots, I think MyungSik could do it, but it looks like TY may just barely hold this because of just how good Marauders are versus Stalkers.
Oh, well, this is suddenly turned around. TY was never in a bad position in terms of army supply, but it's always about the economy, but now he has secured a gold base. He snuck it out.
Muling provides no real benefit to this. They don't mind any faster than normal, but well, he did sneak it out. It does get discovered.
Yeah, never mind. I mean, the SCV's good away, and they'll come back again later, but I think he can deal with this. Okay, there's plenty of storms, but on Marauders, they take a hit or two.
I'm liking the Archons being integrated, but of course he is worried about these EMPs. You know, if TY had a more confident Viking count, he would be able to take this army on so much more comfortably.
Right. Yeah. TY took an amazing engagement, but very quickly MyungSik has gotten back up in his own army supply, and he's still ahead by almost 22 workers.
Yeah, and he's still mining off that third base, which is really nice. But he's going to have to expand himself, too. He's starting to mine out everywhere. Regardless of that expansion, though, I definitely want to start seeing some more Zealots come in. He's warping in some Templar, which is nice, but that buffer for the army is pretty darn important.
So, it's 25 minutes, but this army is just, I don't think they've ever been maxed.
No, there's a lot of trading going on. It's a low econ, upgrade less game. It's weird, but it's fun.
Yeah, so careful, so careful. Good storm on top of the Vikings as well. That fourth, well, okay, that main command center could probably go to the other fourth and maybe do something, but there's pylons littered around the map now.
These storms are looking better and better from MyungSik. The Viking count is pretty much dissipated. It's just the Colossus now with only Marauders to maybe stim into this. You know, this was looking good for TY for a time, but I think that time is up.
Yeah. His economy did end up being his downfall. GG.
Yeah, scanning that fourth base was pretty much the nail in the coffin for him. So map number 1 will go to MyungSik. Nice.